So, you know you have to give up your crown, right? So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is one of the found mugs from found them a few weeks ago, about a month ago, something like that. They were all packed away and my daughter found them when we were cleaning out the house. So I have no idea where I got it from. But it does look like it actually came from possibly a set of coffee mugs or a set of dishes, entirely dishes, that included larger coffee mugs instead of the little teacups. But anyway, that's the coffee cup for today. And today's tea is the Teavana Jade Citrus Mint with spearmint and lemongrass. And it says ingredients: green tea, spearmint, lemon verbena, lemongrass, and natural flavor. I've tried a couple of the Teavanas before. One of them I think I liked and the other one I didn't, but this one I opened up this top and oh my, that just smells pretty. The mint is pretty strong. The lemon is sort of in the background, giving it a bit of a kick. But anyway, let's give her a sip and we will get started. This has been steeping for a few minutes. Unfortunately, this is a refilm and I apparently either threw out or misplaced a couple of the things that I have for our review today. But we'll get into that in just a minute. So give her a sip and we will get started. It still smells pretty. Not nearly as strong as coming out of the box. No surprise there, but... oh, I like that. That is really, really nice. You would expect that spearmint to be overpowering since it's like the first ingredient on, well, the second ingredient on the list. But between the lemon verbena and the lemongrass, those two bump up the lemon flavor, so it actually tastes really, really nice. Really, really nice. We'll see how it tastes, how much stronger it gets as we go. At any rate, so today, as you can tell, is our Sample Queen series day. We haven't done one of these in a while. I've got a whole thing of skincare to do eventually too. We always have skincare. Skincare is easy to get a hold of. It's makeup that sometimes is hard to get a hold of in terms of samples. But I wanted to say that, first of all, there's going to be a few of the actual packages missing. Like I said a little earlier, this is a refilm. Apparently, I had one day when I filmed stuff and none of it came out. And for some reason, I threw everything away before I checked. So, lesson learned, don't do that. And hopefully, I can get rid of some of the stuff I want to get rid of, because there is things I want to get rid of. Nothing in here is horrible. But at any rate, a couple of them are not going to have actual packaging. So let's get started with this Mellow Tinted Brow Gel. This is actually a fairly decent brow gel. I just don't like the tint. The thing is, it's a wet formula. It does go on. I'm wearing it today. It's just a touch... initially, it looks a touch redder than my brows actually are. The thing about tinted brow gel, I like brow gel, okay? I actually prefer a clear brow gel because tinted brow gel is very hard to control. And if you get it in the wrong, I should say very hard, but if you get it in the wrong space on your brows or around your brows, it can be really hard to repair it, so to speak. So you end up with this dark color where you don't want it. I also find that it is harder to get it to fill in some of the holes I have in my brows. Whereas with a pencil, I can actually just direct it to where I want it. I can shape my brows better. I honestly don't find the tinted brow gel all that. We'll just go with that. All that. I much prefer a clear brow gel with a pencil. And while this was a very good brow gel, it's not something I would repurchase. I had the Benefit brow gel for a while too. I think I may have actually reviewed that. I can't remember. But the same thing. It was a decent brow gel. The color was okay and all that other stuff. It's colored, and with the clear brow gel I can put that on, and then I can go over it with a pencil, and I can make sure the pencil's in the right place, and I can shape my brows better. And I find I can't do that very well with the tinted brow gel. So even if it was a reasonable price, I wouldn't buy it tinted. The one that I do like to use is the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brows in clear. They do have it in colors if you like having colored brow gel. That's just not my thing. The next one I do not have the packaging for, but that's okay because it was just a little envelope. And that was the Ofra Rays of Light Primer. I believe it came in a mystery box that I got from them or something, or an order as an extra or something like that. This was odd. The color of it was a rosy brown, and though it doesn't appear to add any color to my skin, and it was shimmery. It was quite sticky once on the skin, which made it hard to blend out concealer and foundation. So you do kind of want a bit of a stick-to-itiveness so that your foundation sticks to the primer. You do not want it so tacky that you cannot blend out your foundation, and that's what the problems were. Once on, the foundation generally looked good, except on my nose where it looks spotty and patchy, a problem I've never had with that particular foundation. This is a while ago, so I don't even know which one it was. Might have been the CoverGirl, because this was a while ago. And when I powdered it, it looked dry pretty much everywhere. Also a problem I've never had with that particular foundation. The foundation usually has a nice finish, even under powder, and it was all lost with the primer. So I really, this one would not be a primer I would recommend. A lot of times they have them quite shimmery or glowy or dewy, and I find that that doesn't really seem to help much with the foundation. You lose that once the foundation is on, honestly. Whatever your foundation does on top of it, unless it's, especially if you go to medium full coverage, which is what I generally do. I'm somewhere along medium right now. But if you'd go really light, I suppose the primer would glow through, but I have never noticed a difference in my foundation with the medium to full coverage that I normally like to wear. Next I have the Girlactic eyeliner. I like this, not enough to spend $20 on it, but I did like it. It has a nice tip. It gives me decent lines. We are starting to run out a little bit, so she's not looking as dark as she normally does. Yeah, this is going into the reverse rouge bucket. It's a nice formula, a bit wet at first, becomes less so pretty quickly, which is one of the problems I had with it. It dried out a little too quickly. So soon after I got it, I think I'd only used it a few times, I noticed it was starting to dry out, and I was having to bump it up with other liners a little bit, especially for the wings. The wings, I don't like doing my wings with pencil liners anyway. This one just seemed to struggle a lot with that for me. Could be my skin, my eyes, right around my eyes has a lot of texture in it. Not necessarily wrinkles, but I don't even know how to explain it. It's like little, it's just texture. We'll just go with that. And having it dry out that fast is saying something for me, because I actually don't use eyeliner every day, and I can't imagine how long that this would match. And I can't imagine that this would last that long for someone who uses eyeliner every day. Once it starts drying out and gets past the less wet stage, I have to supplement it with eyeshadow and setting spray for the wings, or with the Suva Hydra liners. I have to supplement it because it just doesn't line very well to get the wings in place. Even if I can still line my eyes with it, it's not a huge deal for me, but it's definitely not worth $20 either. Overall, it was, considering I'm not big on eyeliner, pencils, or pens of any kind anyway, it was good. It's just not, even if I were into liquid eyeliners like this, eyelining pens, I don't think I'd repurchase it. Just because if you're going to use something like that, you don't want to have to switch out to something else to do your wings, generally speaking. I don't mind doing it because I'm a mess. But most people have an issue with that kind of thing. So I had a friend who really enjoyed this and enjoys this brand. This did make me curious about wanting to try other things from the brand. They're just a bit above my a bit expensive for me right now, especially since I have a whole lot of other things that I am actually more anxious to try. But I am interested in trying more in the brand. Just not interested in buying another one of these. Okay, so I have in front of me the Eben Silky lip dress. And I had the lip dress, the Snuggie, which is a lipstick, and the Eben 24 Hour, which is a gloss. And the gloss came in something similar to this. And it had a similar tip to, well, it had a squeezy tip. I don't even have the other gloss that was like that because I had to toss it. It was 2 years old. Stuff that's 2 years old. At any rate, so the Silky is really creamy and smooth formula with a really decent pigmentation. This was $5 or $6 over at my Kroger. I think it is worth the money. I think all of them are actually worth the price. That's the color. No, I didn't wear it today. But I'm actually looking to other colors. It's inexpensive. It's a grocery store, drugstore brand. It's Eben New York. This is the Silky lip dress, their liquid lip. It's really nice. I actually really liked it, and I have used it frequently and intend to continue to use it. I actually had intended to continue to use the other two items, and now I can't find them. So, anyway, the Snuggie was like a crayon. Your standard crayon. It wasn't as big as these crayons, but pretty much was like a crayon like this, and it had a nice wide tip on it, and I really wish I could find it. It's really kind of upsetting that it's just poof. Like the liquid lip, it was smooth and creamy. The pigmentation wasn't as great, but it was not bad. It was also worth the $5 to $6. I'm actually kind of glad we tried this brand because I think a lot of times we see a brand new brand in this, like a grocery store, and we're like, no. But we just decided to try one thing. They didn't have much in the brand. I think they had some loose glitters. They had a whole bunch of brow or lashes or something like that. And then they had some of these. So I would really like to see what else that they come up with. I'm probably going to have to check out the website for that. But so the Eben 24 Hour is probably the only thing I wouldn't repurchase since the gloss was kind of goopy, and this kind of application isn't my favorite. Like I said, it had this kind of tubing, but it had where you had to squeeze it out, kind of like a, hold on, as I throw more stuff away, kind of like you have to do with the Carmex. It had that kind of thing, but this was slanted and more of a soft feel to it. But I don't like that kind of application. I don't like having to put that kind of stuff on my lips and then put it away and then put it on my lips. It bothers me. I don't know why. I think part of it is because with these, it goes back in here and it just sits in there. Whereas with the other one, it's outside and it's not inside the actual container. And yeah, I don't know. I had a Sephora one that I liked that was the same way. It had the same kind of application. But again, like I said, it didn't have the best pigmentation, but it was a gloss. And glosses are lighter in pigmentation anyway. So keeping that in mind, again, it was worth the price and worth looking for other colors or trying something out. I really think that if you can find Eben in your grocery store, it is something to consider trying out. They're very inexpensive. They didn't have a huge color range. Like I said, they looked fairly new as a brand to me, although I think I searched them online and then the online part had been on for a while, so I don't know. But at any rate, all three of them I thought were worth their price. They ran $5 to $6. I don't know what the lashes were. I don't do lashes. I do my own thing. So anyway, so moving on to our next product, which is the Lancome Definilis High Definition Mascara. I really like the brush on this, at least on the mini size. I have found that sometimes when something's one way in a mini and it's different when you try it on the full. I would have preferred a curved, but as you can see, the brush is not the the plastic spikes. It is an actual brush. It's small and it's thin and it's narrow, so it's really easy to use. And yeah, we old. This has been waiting for me to get to it for a while, so that's not going to even get on there. This needs to go away. The formula was a bit wet, but really nice in color. It lengthens more than it volumizes, but it does give great definition to the lashes. If it weren't for the Lancome prices, I'd probably consider buying a full size. Maybe. I really wish more companies were like Urban Decay and a couple others that offered trial sizes. Thrive offers trial sizes or travel sizes, because I never use full-size mascaras. I keep them 4 to 5 months, and that's past what you're supposed to, and I never use a full-size mascara. So overall, I really liked it. It's, like I said, because of the price, it's not something I would repurchase. I did have to layer it, but with most mascaras, I do have to layer them 3 or 4 times. There's very few that I can get what I want with 1 or 2 times. Styla Huge Extreme and Urban Decay Perversion I can get with 2 to 3 times. So, but it was a nice mascara. So if you're not bothered by the prices from Lancome and you want more definition and more lengthening than you want volume, then I would recommend this. So the next one is another one that I can't find, and this one is weird to me because even if I'm not keeping it, which I wouldn't be, it's a lipstick. So I can't even find it in my Project Beauty Share box, which is very bizarre. I can't find it anywhere. It's just, it's probably, I'll probably unbury it in a couple of days. It's terrible. But it was a Bobbi Brown lipstick, which was very odd. It was creamy, but it was very stiff going on the lips. A bit patchy and required several layers to get decent color. It was comfortable, though somewhat sheer even when layered. Knowing the Bobbi Brown prices, I wouldn't repurchase. And I do think the color that I got, it was kind of a reddish brown. I don't think I like the color at all either. So, yeah, I didn't wear it much because every time I wore it, it was a chore putting it on. It just felt like a lot of work putting it on. So, yeah, not something I would recommend. But I mean, if you're a Bobbi Brown fan, probably wouldn't mind it. But for me, I like stuff to go on smoothly. I don't like to feel like I'm dragging it across my face or across my mouth or whatever. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I didn't like the primer. It's because I felt like I had to really work to get my foundation and stuff on it. So yeah, I just like things that are creamier and smoother and easier to apply, and that one just wasn't it. Alrighty, so lastly we have the Rimmel Scandalize Curve Alert Mascara. I got this in a Christmas package from Too Much Mouth a couple years ago, but I only opened it recently. This was opened in June, so I have my little sticker on there that tells me when it was opened. I am going to try to use more of it. I will say I don't use it often. I probably should use it more, but I have other mascaras that I actually prefer that I have out, and I have some coming in too. Anyway, this is a thick, somewhat heavy formula. It takes a bit to dry down. I do like the curve of the brush, but I think it's just a little too big and bushy. So, yeah, and it just picks up that mascara, so it looks really clumpy. But you can see the brush is curved. You can see some of the mascara there. And this brush is huge, and it's the bristles are really long. And I like the curve, but the rest of it's just a bit too much, overdone, too much. Ignore the neighbor, please. It picks up a lot of product, making drying a bit longer and it easier to get in places you don't want. I usually end up using, when I use this, I usually end up using another spoolie to clean up because my lashes will look a little clumpy. They won't look as long. If you use another spoolie to clean it up, this does help lengthen. But primarily this volumizes, it thickens your lashes for the most part. It only takes 2 coats to get to the lashes where I like it though. And the color is dark and beautiful. I was very surprised that I liked it. It's not a fave, but it is something that I don't mind. It's just that brush. It's just that brush. I am wearing it today. So there you can see my lashes. Please ignore my eyes if they are falling apart. We had onions in the kitchen today. So anyway, gonna keep this, gonna keep trying to use it up. Normally with mascaras that I'm questionable on, I will give them to one of my daughters because I honestly don't like throwing stuff out. And I recently had to throw a lot of stuff out. I finally got all my stickers on, and I found a whole bunch of lipsticks and things that were old. Really, really old. So, I mean, 2018 old. So, yeah, it was time for them to go. So, I try not to do that. I do try to use these full sizes up as much as possible. This is going to take me... I got probably another month or two on it before I think I'm probably going to go, okay, it's done. But it's Rimmel, so it's not as expensive as, say, L'Oreal or some of the other brands that I like. Hell, I don't even think it's as expensive as the travel size of the Urban Decay I like, which is $11 or $12. That may have gone up to $13. I haven't bought it in a while. I want to. I haven't. I've been good. But yes, I do. If you're interested in that, this is not bad. I do think it's still out there. It is an older mascara. They've come out with some other ones since. I do have other mascaras, probably from the same brand that I haven't tried yet. I am trying to get through my little sample box, but I just have had so much stuff. At any rate, that is it for the day. And if you like what you've seen, I hope you will subscribe if you're not. If you keep coming back, just go ahead and subscribe. Then hit that bell so you know when I upload. I currently upload 2 days a week, Monday and Thursday. However, we also have bonus videos. And like, you know, my son opening his My Geek Box, which he should have done earlier this month. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. And I do indie brand openings. And if you send something, you don't have to, but if you send something, that gets opened as a bonus video, unless you don't want. Just let me know you don't want, and I won't. Just put a note somewhere, and I won't open it in front of everybody to see, okay? All right. And no garden videos this year, but hopefully we can get back to those next year. If you're interested in any of those, you will need to have that bell clicked because those do not go up on regular upload days. If you're part of my notification squad, well, you know the drill. Check your subscription and your bell to make sure they're both still active. And if you choose not to subscribe, I'd be sad and disappointed. However, you're always welcome back here again because we love having the company. And when you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. All right, so we have sat here for about 25-30 minutes. And it was sitting here for a couple minutes before that because I swear to God, I was looking for those Ebens everywhere. Everywhere. I'm not happy that I can't find them. But it's quite possible that when I was doing my clean out that they got tossed without me even thinking about it. They aren't that old. I probably shouldn't have, but shit happens. If you'll pardon me. Anyway, let's go ahead and give this a sip and then we will be on our way. I like this. I really like this. I think I like this even better than the other one that they had. So if you can find Teavana, this was in our grocery store. If you can find Teavana in your grocery store, I do think it's $5 or $6 a container, and it has 15 sachets, and they are little sachets. I don't know if you can see them in there, but they're little sachets. They're like little temples. Not quite as pyramid-y as some, but they're not flat and like that. It does look like the tea is a bit bigger than when you get, say, a stash tea or another type of tea, but it's not really chunky, if you know what I mean. So it's a bigger grind, but it's still ground. But it's very, very good. So if you like those flavors, mint and lemon, I think you'll like this tea. So see if you can find it. That's good. Anyway, that's it. Hope you have a good one. Bye.